Hello world, Shelly here, and today I'm going to give you guys the eye look that you've been asking for, actually two, from the Marc Jacobs Steeletto eyeshadow palette. This is a limited edition palette, but it is still available at Sephora. It retails for $49.50. It's currently getting 4.7 out of 5 stars with 68 reviews. It is my first Marc Jacobs palette myself, and I would give it 5 stars. I love it. Now, as you can tell, it's definitely a cool toned palette, and I've had people tell me that they want to see a tutorial because they can't make it not look like a bruise on their eyes. And I have a little bit of bad news, and that is that a lot of times cool tones, if your skin's undertones don't work well with cool tones, that's probably the cause of why you think it looks like a bruise, as opposed to, an application technique error or something like that, something you can fix with how you're applying it. So if you've got this palette and you're one of those people that's having trouble with it, try out these looks, but know that if your undertone doesn't work with cool tones, you might have trouble getting yourself to like it. I have a basically neutral undertone that leans slightly cool in the winter and slightly warm in the summer when I get some sun to me, but generally it's neutral, and that is kind of best case scenario because I can pull off warm or cool looks, makeup looks, whether that's eye makeup or lipstick or the shade of foundation that I go for. I prefer cool undertones on me. I just think they look better, and I think that has to do with my hair color, and sometimes when my hair color changes, I prefer warm tones. So it really is a combination of your skin tones, your hair color, how you perceive color on you. So don't think that it'll work for everybody, because if you're not into cool tones, you're probably not going to be into this palette. If you are into cool tones, or you're neutral and you kind of want to branch out into some cool tones, I love this palette, and I'm going to show you basically the main look that I do with this palette, and then how I kind of turn it into a nighttime look. So we'll start with daytime. Actually, I say nighttime. That's how most people would look at it when you go full on with the glitter. I go glitter any time of day. I'll wear it to work. I don't follow the rules, but we'll pretend there are rules, and I'll start out with the basic look. It's a more matte look, less shimmery, and then we'll take it into nighttime. So I want to break down how I've been using these colors. This is a very nice matte highlight shade for, say, brow bone in particular. This I usually use as my transition shade. This shade or this shade I use as my crease color. If you're having trouble with feeling like your eyes look bruised, go for the more brown tone as opposed to the more purple tone. If you're going to use the purple tone not in your crease, it also makes a really good outer third color to kind of set up your base of your lid if you're using some of the more gray tones. The shade here, which is a shimmer shade, is really good for the lid in a more neutral kind of simple look. This glitter shade is my absolute favorite thing in the palette. This is what kind of turns everything into a nighttime look. And then you've got a dark shade for deepening up the outer corner. You could also do a full-on smoky eye with this palette, which I haven't done yet, but it would work beautifully because these mattes are super blendable and super beautiful. So let's get into this, shall we? I'm going to start out with that transition shade here and a Wayne Goss 03. And if you've got hooded lids, you'll want to apply your color and then relax your eyes and look straight forward in a mirror and make sure you can see just a little bit of that color all the way across, at least to that inner third of your lid. And if you need a little more, I just put it right on the tip of my brush. You see how it kind of disappears right in the middle here on this eye? This one's a little bit more hooded. So just take enough of it so that when you're looking forward, you can see just a little bit of color peeking up there. Next, I'm going to go in with the darker brown and a Sigma E25 and take this deeper into the crease. Don't go quite as high as you did with the previous shade. You just want to give some depth here. We will very likely go back in and deepen this up once we get the lid color on, but I like to put this down so I can kind of see where the stopping point is of my lid into my crease. Next, I'm going to go into this purple shade with a flat shadow brush. This is a MAC 233, and I'm going to place this on the outer third to the outer half or so of my lid. This is going to give us a sort of base color to work from. I mean, really, look at how pigmented and opaque but easily blendable these mattes are. They really are phenomenal. Now I'm going to take that center gray shimmery shade and wipe that same brush off in a color switch, and we're going to use this on the front part of the lid. As you get to the intersection of those two colors, very lightly, just kind of tap over and wiggle back and forth. I'm barely touching my lid to get these to blend together. If you feel like you go too far with the silver, then just come back in with a little bit more purple and do the same wiggling. I'm going to come back in with the darker brown, and this is just a semi-dense tapered Morphe brush. It has no number because it came in an eye kit, but I'm just going to bring back a tiny bit of the brown to that crease definition. Now I'm just going to take a fluffy blending brush. This is a Sigma E35, no product, and I'm just going to go right along the outer edges and make sure we have no harsh lines. Just little tiny circles blending out those edges. Now you can do this part or skip it. I do either way. I go back in with that deeper brown and a little smudger brush and take that along the lower lash line. You can also use the purple shade for this. If you're feeling that sort of bruised look, then I would go with the brown instead of the purple. Last step, I'm going to take that matte white and highlight just the arch of the brow, and then blend out what's left to the end. I'm going to tightline my upper lash line real quick. If you'd like an inner corner highlight, go in with the shimmer shade and pop a little right to the inner corner. At this point, you could apply mascara and be done with this look. This is kind of a more daytime version of a, somewhat bold look from this palette. But if you want to zhuzh it up, we're going to go in with this glitter. So this is the other version of the look that I've been doing with this lately. And you can use this shadow either with a finger or a brush. I'm just going to use my finger, and it's so pretty. And I'm going to do pretty much center of the lid and outward. A little blending toward the inner corner, but you do want to keep that lighter shimmer shade to the inner corner. And if you want just a little more drama, deepen the very outer corner with that dark shade. I've got the Makeup Geek outer V brush, and just deepen that outer 7 a tiny bit. No additional product. This is a Wingauss 04, and I'm picking this one so that I can blend into the crease without messing up the transition. That other E35 from Sigma, when I blend that, that's like outer edges that blows out the whole look. I don't want this black to get into my transition area, so I'm using a smaller, more tapered brush to blend that out. I went with the Kevyn Aucoin Expert Mascara on my upper lashes and the Estee Lauder Double Wear Zero Smudge on my lower lashes. I like a nude lip with this eye look, so I went with the Marc Jacobs in Enamored, and this is the finished look. To further customize this look, you do not have to go so dramatic with the darkness of the crease color. If you wanted a more neutral daytime look, I would skip the dark brown altogether or just go in very lightly in the crease with it and use this as both your transition and your crease color. That would work beautifully well. You can also get that purple into the crease if you want more of a dramatic purple impact to the look. It's definitely versatile. You can go heavy and bold. You can go very minimal and neutral with this palette. It's on the cool side of the spectrum, but there are enough neutral browns in here to sort of help it along and give it some balance. It's a really well curated set of colors. You could go even more dramatic than this, which I haven't done yet, but these mattes, like I said, blend out so well. Very easy to go that route. So there you have it. That's what I've been doing primarily with my Marc Jacobs Steeletto palette lately. I love this palette. Highly recommend you grab one before the limited edition is no longer available. And if you have any other palettes or eye looks you would like to see tutorials on, let me know down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this one. If you like eyeshadow tutorials, let me know. I will keep on making them. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for new videos, and I hope you all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.